Welcome to another episode of the Joey Moments podcast. I think it's episode 14.
I think
13
so.
or 14. I'm honestly kind of losing track now. This is the Joey Moments podcast. I'm Joey. I have Joey Moments. I'm joined today by local WoW aficionado and Mr. Beatsman himself.
I'm the lead game designer on World of Warcraft at Blizzard Entertainment. I'm Henry.
No, I have to censor your last name. God damn it. All right, we're censoring last names already. Welcome on. Yeah, this is a special week, a special themed episode, talking all about World of Warcraft. I mean, we'll talk about more than World of Warcraft, but because we've been friends for a really long time. But a lot of World of Warcraft this week because we're coming off of week 2 of the expansion.
I believe so. Yeah. So we're looking at week 2. War Within's out.
How do you like it so far?
You know, I've got 2 max level characters already. My mage is ready to go. I think I hit the 580 mark just the other day. I am really, really enjoying this expansion just for... I like that we have like our standard world quest, but the stuff that we're doing every day, I think the biggest thing that stands out to me is that the stuff that you're doing every day actually feels varied enough, finally. Mm-hmm. I think one of the big things we had was once you would hit that end game, you would end up in just this kind of loop. You know, with Shadowlands, it was like you would be doing Torghast every week, and you'd be doing, just your BS world quests and whatever. But you'd just be doing kind of the same activity every week. And, you do still kind of have that same, you're going to be going through the same items every week in a sense. But with the variation that you have to the events per zone, you're doing drastically different things per day. Just the difference between the Hallowfall Keyflames and like what you do in Azj-Kahet, different things like that. It is a world of difference. I think that's good.
I think Azj-Kahet needs more to do. It feels like that is the zone where I will finish everything, and you get the weekly quest to do event or to do things in Azj-Kahet. Mm-hmm. And it feels like I get to about 90% on the bar for that tracking that quest, and I'm out of stuff to do. Yeah. I have to go back and like buy another rumor map and do the rumors again. But even the rumors, they reset daily. So if you've already done your 4 rumors for the day, you're done. Yep. So it's like, okay, well, I know this is a weekly quest, but most weekly quests can be completed in a single play session. Yeah. The thing that sucks about specifically that zone, which I think is a really cool zone, I think the art is really good. I like the layout of it. Mm-hmm. It's my least favorite part of the expansion, though. I think it's the weakest zone. I think that doing some of those quests, it's like, they're kind of stealthy based. You got to place the little bugs here and there, and it's like, okay, well, it's not really stealth because you've put these items where I need to place them are right in the aggro zone of
like
mobs.
5 detectors sitting over it.
And then you're getting kicked out, so you keep having to fly back up, and it's just really repetitive. It's really annoying, and then by the time you're done, you haven't finished your weekly quest. It takes you 2 or 3 days to do it because there's just not a lot to do right now. Yeah. And I don't know if that's intentional because it felt like the first couple days there was a lot to do. So I think maybe I did it where I did everything without grabbing that weekly. Mm-hmm. And then now I'm just fucked until the weeklies reset.
That's how I was feeling too. Cause it's that Eyes of the Weaver quest where you just do like activities in Azj-Kahet, and I ran into the same kind of thing. It spawns like, I think like 2 world quests a week in that zone. It feels like there's straight up, they are not as dense there as they are in the other zones.
Yeah, Hallowfall has so much to do. It feels like you are constantly doing stuff there. Constantly world quests or world events popping up. Yeah. The Ringing Deep, I will be completely honest, I have not spent a lot of time in that zone after leveling. Mm-hmm. I leveled through it, and then I've spent the majority of my time in the Isle of Dorn and in Hallowfall.
So keep in mind with that, they do have weeklies for that zone as well. Mm-hmm. They have that, like the Start the Machine and stuff.
Yep, and that quest is bugged for me.
Is it really?
I can't complete it. I did the quest line for it, or like the mini activity, the world quest. And in my trading post, in my trader's log, it didn't count. So I have to wait until the weekly reset to do it again.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
So that I can do that. And it's it's so mundane. Like, it's not actually like, it feels very, not even fetch quests, because fetch quests feel more interactive than this. Because I've been doing a lot of the pets and the treasure across, because I told you my goal for this expansion by the time we're done, so in about 2 years, hopefully, I don't know, this might be a 12-month expansion, but I think it's another 24-month expansion. If it's a 2-year expansion, I want to 100% it. I want to just get everything achievement-wise done. I want to look at my map and not see any of the little treasure chests anymore.
Yeah, they're just
So I've
gone.
just been going through, and one of them is really hard. That's in the Ringing Deep, where you have to have 5 people, and everyone has to activate a switch at the exact same time.
Yeah,
I like that.
Dumb mole mount. Yeah.
I like that, but also at the same time, it's like, okay, well, what I don't have. I mean, we do have 5 people that play WoW. We could get 5 people to do it, but it's such a stupid thing that if people don't want that mount, why would they want to do that?
Yeah, and well, like a thing going further is you got to think about, at least the thing I always think about when we enter a new expansion is, you know that when I play this game, a lot of the fun for me in this game is the collecting. So I'm running through old content a lot. So what I think about, honestly, is I think about how this is going to age. Whenever we get something in an expansion, I think about how is this going to play, not now, not in a year, but 2 or 3 years down the line when nobody's doing this anymore. And so leading back to that mount, when nobody's doing this content anymore, what's your plan?
I honestly feel like they'll probably change the requirements
Yeah.
as it becomes aged out content.
I could see that, yeah.
Because they've done that for a couple things where they've changed the requirements to get certain items, or they've added it to like an event where you can get it, or they'll put it in the trading post. So I think that's probably going to be where that mount specifically ends up. I think there's a lot of content in War Within, though, that'll probably stay locked behind doing things.
Yeah.
I will say right now I've been leveling up my professions, and that grind feels just fucking miserable right now. and I've been trying to do my mining, and one of the items that you get that helps you level up is that pickaxe that spawns in Isle of Dorn.
That kobold pickaxe?
And it never fucking is there.
Oh,
Every time I go
Lord.
there, it has like a 2 to 3 hour respawn timer based on when someone picks it up.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, am I just supposed to fucking AFK here and just sit there and watch it?
So is it like one of those where like, because for each profession, there are like customized rare items that spawn that give you like knowledge points, basically? Is that like what that is then?
Yeah.
Okay. So why am I getting the flag then?
Yeah. It's also a physical item, though. Like, you get, like, it's a transmog item.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
It's like a 2-hand axe, right?
Yeah, it's a two-handed pickaxe.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, I want it, not because I'm going to use it like the transmog, because I'm a big transmog guy. That's my big thing in the game.
Oh, yeah.
I love chasing the really cool shit. And I will say this expansion has some stuff I'm really excited for. It also has some stuff that I think just looks really gaudy.
Yeah.
And I will say my character looks vastly different from this expansion than it did last expansion.
Oh, yeah.
The look is different. At first I was like, oh, this is all really kind of gaudy. And then I put a couple pieces together and I was like, oh, I really like that look.
Yeah.
And especially because, like, in my mind, even though I don't play on RP servers, I did at one point. In classic WoW, when it came out, I only played on RP servers. Because I was like, yeah, I'm going to play with the RP nerds because they're fun people. They're
are
a little
fun
weird.
people to be around.
A little weird, but they get really into the game in a way that, like, your typical, like, PvE players don't.
Yeah.
And the way that PvP players, I just don't think can even comprehend.
Oh, no. PvP players can't comprehend
That's
that.
just I want to kill shit. That's all they think about. And for me, I was like, I like if you look at my warband, you have 4 characters, and all 4 of them are elves.
Yep.
So I have 3 night elves and 3 blood elves, 1 night elf. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, there's a story there. There's a reason why I keep things. And I'm just like, yeah, this is, like, I'm like, they're all in the same bloodline, these people.
Yeah.
And
maybe they're sisters or something, you know,
I'm
or
just
something
like-
like that.
And I like having that story in my head because it gives me reason to do this. Like, I'm like, this character has a backstory. Like my character has a story that only matters to me because it's not in the game. But, like, I like knowing where my character comes from.
Yeah.
And I like to have, like, that emotion behind it. I like being like, this is my main character. I like playing him versus, like, this other character who I think is a douche. This guy in the game, I can just tell by the way I dressed him. This guy would be an asshole in real life.
He's just not the good guy.
No, he's not a good guy. No, and I'm like, I'll theme the items that I put on them and the transmogs that I do. I'll theme that around it. And it's just, RP and Classic WoW was a lot of fun. I tried to do an RP server on retail, yeah, I deleted that character.
Yeah, Moonguard's like the only one alive for retail at least.
Retail RP is basically dead because everyone who does RP at this point is on classic. They're playing classic because they're classic Andes anyway. Yeah, and like I said, I think me and you've talked about this at length. I can respect classic Andes. You could not pay me enough money to only play classic though.
You want to level to 60 in classic WoW?
I don't want to take fucking 8 months to level. No, I'm good. I'm good. That's fucking miserable. I got to 80 in 4 days. You got to 80 in 2.
Yeah.
And that was, granted, that was only 10 levels, but I think even if me and you started a level 1 and said we're going to go 1 to 80, I think it would take us maybe a week.
Nah. Even on live WoW, I feel like we could do 1 to 80 in probably a couple days still.
Yeah.
Just because, if we're hitting dungeons and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially because they squished it.
Oh, yeah.
And we could hit old raids, shit like that. Mm-hmm. Actually run Ice Crown Citadel, and it be somewhat of a challenge.
Maybe get you some... Yeah, so that was another thing. So with the classic stuff, it's like running through to get that challenge again. I think we just need more time walking raids.
Well, and so I think I would love if they did time walking raids because they don't. They just do the time walking dungeons.
Well, they do occasionally, right? They did like Ulduar that one time, and I think they did a time walking Firelands for another event. But
but it's not common. Because when they do time walking, they don't put in a raid every time. Yeah, and I think they should. Obviously, you don't need to have every raid from the expansion because obviously, when they do time walking, it's every raid or every dungeon from that expansion.
Every dungeon
from that expansion. But they never I think it should be every dungeon and then one raid. Yeah. Like a singular raid. And you rotate the raid every time it comes back.
It'd be cool, yeah.
Like Wrath of the Lich King, when it comes back, obviously at some point you should have Ice Crown Citadel. Mm-hmm. That's like the big one. But it shouldn't be the raid that comes back every time.
Maybe then like Trial of Crusader another month or like, Nax or something like that. Yep. Yeah.
I'm just happy we're getting classic WoW time walking for the 20th anniversary.
That's going to be interesting because here's the thing. That sounds really nice. Are you ready for a scaled up Wailing Caverns? Are you sure you're ready to handle that?
The last time I played Wailing Caverns was in Classic.
Yeah, are you ready to go back to
that
Wailing
was an experience. I was like, oh my God. They're retooling in the announcement. They said they were retooling a lot of that content.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be. I'm sure they'll like cut it off, or they'll make it like a lot easier to run through. For that.
They're putting them in phases. So 2 of the dungeons are being broken into 2 parts. So they won't be just one dungeon anymore. Because a few of those classic dungeons are really long.
Yeah, like Blackrock Spire. Yeah.
Like almost like raid level long. Mm-hmm. Like in now comparison, like obviously like you compare it to like classic raids and. It's nothing. It's a cakewalk.
But I know
classic
exactly
raids are fucking hard.
Yeah,
and it's just one of those things that it's like, okay, well, I would like them to retool some of this stuff because I do think classic content, especially vanilla content, vanilla and Burning Crusade content. I think it just gets really forgotten about now.
It does.
And I'm seeing a lot of people now online start talking about, we should really start looking at Burning Crusade as something we should like be revisiting.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I get that. I understand that. I've only played through Burning Crusade the one time, and that was when I played a little bit. I got to I think I got 2 levels in when TBC Classic came out.
Yeah, they gave us that boost, right?
And then I didn't play it at all. Mm-hmm. I got to like 62. And then I replayed it when me and you leveled to get ready for Wrath Classic. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time I played through TBC content at all. Yeah. And that was no dungeons, no raids, because we just did leveling.
Yeah. It's not a bad expansion, but I will say, maybe I was just too young the first time it was out, but not a ton about Burning Crusade actually stands out in my mind.
Well, because you were the age when you started playing, because you started playing WoW at the same time.
2007.
The same time I started playing Halo, right? And I can say distinctly in my memory, I remember playing Halo 2 before Halo 3 came out, but Halo 3 came out, and that's what I remember. For you, I feel like it's probably the same with Wrath of the Lich King.
Almost definitely, yeah.
You played TBC because it was out, but then on the horizon was this big, new, pretty thing. And the hype behind Wrath of the Lich King, I think, is hard to kind of understand in a modern setting because that was like a lot of people played Warcraft 3. Like, Warcraft was still a popular game at the time. Warcraft 3 was relatively new because that came out in, 2003? Came out right before World of Warcraft?
Warcraft 3, it might have been 98. Those games are old. Like those are
Warcraft 3 came out in the 2000s.
Oh, okay.
Because they announced Warcraft 3 around the same time they announced WoW originally.
Oh, okay.
Because it was going to be, hey, we're doing Warcraft 3, but then we're also making an MMORPG based in Warcraft, and it was like this big cool thing. And I've gone back and I've like read like articles and like press reviews or like press previews of WoW, and they're so negative. They're like, I don't know how this is going to work. And then you look at it and you're just like, oh my God. You watch for fucking 6 years of nothing but player growth until 2010. And
we don't know what happened in 2010, unfortunately.
Oh no, we're not going to talk about that.
If only we could guess. It's just too hard to tell.
No one will ever understand the cataclysm of WoW. But
yeah, it was another level of hype. And I remember one thing that stands out in my mind. I still remember these as a kid. Not a lot of people know, especially the younger people, but they were doing Mountain Dew TV ads with World of Warcraft. Okay,
Dude,
you had Mr. T
awesome.
in these commercials, full-on professional commercials. Mr. T coming in here, he's talking about I'm a night elf mohawk, and then he gets CGI into a night elf warrior, and it's like that is a level, like, especially for the time it was occurring in. This is like, 2008 to 2010, around this time it's happening. This was unheard of, right? Video games were the untouched. It was the D&D nerd, the loser in his mom's basement. That's who plays video games still. And then all of a sudden, Mr. T's on TV saying he's a WoW grinder.
The amount of people that came, like celebrities that came out saying that they played WoW was so... Like, because that's around the time I really got into WoW. Because I got in at the tail end of Wrath of the Lich King. Yeah. And I didn't have my own account at first. I would just go over to my friend's account and I would play. His brother had this, PC with like a CRT TV monitor. Yeah. And I would play on an alt that he had. He was like, just create your own character.
Yeah, just screw around.
Because he would work late at night. He worked at Walmart. And so his brother worked at Walmart. And so me and my friend, when I'd sleep over, he'd work overnights. Because he had graduated high school at this point.
I see.
And so I would just go over there and spend the night, and I'd play WoW on on his computer, and my friend would play on his computer, and that's how we would play WoW. And we had like a little group from school that we would play, and we'd be on fucking like TeamSpeak. That's like the really shitty headset that only had one little phone pad and reached over with the shitty little microphone.
Yeah, it's like the call center headset basically. Yeah.
And he had the WoW mouse, the WoW like. MMO mouse.
That big one with all the blocky, oh jeez.
The little blue lights on the front.
Oh man, you know what? I remember, speaking of like with gear like that, WoW themed peripherals. I don't know if you ever saw, but there was this, I don't even know how to describe it. I think it was, I guess, a custom keyboard, but you had like this big gaudy like plate of like WoW Cataclysm branding, like the body, right? And then you had normal keyboard keys, and then you had this giant like pad of just buttons, and they were like pre-bound like macros, WoW buttons. Yeah, they were like, it was like dancing and like different stuff like that, and like jumping and stuff.
Yeah, they started doing that during Wrath of the Lich King, because Wrath of the Lich King, there's a keyboard cover. Yeah, it's like this giant plastic piece of crap that you set on top of your keyboard, and it has a bunch of stuff, and it tells you like your action bar 1, 2. It's like laid out. So that I'm just like, okay,
we're back in typing class.
Oh my god, it's like it's baby's first WoW keyboard, and I saw one of those on eBay because I was looking to get the first 3 expansions. I was looking to get the collector's edition to just have on a shelf. Yeah, and getting Wrath of the Lich King is not super bad. It's like $60. Burning Crusade's like $90 to $100. I'm like, okay, that's not bad. If you want to get the vanilla collector's edition, good luck. It's like $500. Yeah. And so it's just crazy to think about though, because like so many celebrities would talk about WoW. Like you had like Mila Kunis, you had Henry Cavill, you had Ozzy Osbourne had the WoW commercial. Chuck Norris.
Yes, you're right. I forgot about that.
Like there were so many people that were like, yeah, I play WoW. Like in my like when I'm not acting, I'm at home playing World of Warcraft. And you're just sitting there like, oh my god. Like my great uncle, who's in his late 80s or mid 80s, he plays World of Warcraft still. Still plays. Wow. Yeah.
That's and I was like, real killer right there.
And I was like, that was my first, like, that was the first game that really made me want a computer. I was like, I want to play World of Warcraft. And my uncle was like, no, we're not getting you one because you're going to get hacked.
Oh, man. So I had a friend way, way back. We were like 7 or 8 years old. It was when I moved I like always lived, where we're at, but I had moved here in like second grade or so. And the first friend I made, his parents were very strict. They were very Christian, very religious, and super kind people, right? I shouldn't say strict, but they were very religious people. They adhered to those beliefs. And, we would be friends. We'd go over to each other's houses, blah, blah, blah. One day, I show him World of Warcraft.
Oh, no.
And it's super awesome. It's super cool. He gets so excited. He's like, wow, this looks super cool.
Wow.
We can cast spells. We can level up. This is super awesome. Get mounts. Sweet. So I'm like, yeah, you should ask your parents, like, can you play this? And so we went back to his house that day, and, we're like 8 years old, so I didn't hear from him. But I see him in school the next day, and I asked how it went, and they told him no, because you summon demons in that game.
Yeah, that kid absolutely.
He was shut out, He couldn't, just because of the warlocks. I was like, I remember even as a kid, I think I said something to him along the lines of like, can't you just not play a warlock? And he's like, nope, because it's in the game. They don't want it. They don't want it anywhere near me. I'm like, all right.
That kid absolutely got stuck playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Oh no, that kid ended up being a COD pro. He ended up playing COD. Yeah.
You can't summon demons. You can't play World of Warcraft, but you
go
can
play COD with
Milsim.
pentagrams and all that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Geez.
I never understood that with some parents. It was like the border of what was acceptable. Like, you can't play Pokemon, you can't watch SpongeBob, but you can play Halo 3.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
You know what? That kid at his house in his basement was how I ended up seeing the human centipede, the one and only time. So you know what? I'd just like to say to his parents, wherever you are, I understand the intent. It did not pan out. It did not pan out at all because it's his fault.
That's so funny. That's rich. That's so crazy. And I remember, growing up after I moved here, because obviously I did not grow up here.
Yeah.
Early childhood. I moved here right before 6th grade was when I moved here. Me and you did not meet till between 6th and 7th grade.
Yeah.
Because we were mutual friends with Noah. And that's how me and you became friends. And I remember going to your house to play WoW. I would bring my laptop, my really shitty laptop, and then I would bring after the laptop died, I would bring my tower with one monitor. I would not bring both because my other monitor was a 36-inch TV.
Yes. I remember the TV. Oh, my God. It was
mounted in my fucking closet.
That was when we were on Skype still, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I would have Skype on the TV and my game on the monitor. And the monitor was not like at a place like eye level. It was like slightly higher than eye level, and I had to have my neck bent to look at the monitor to play games.
Oh, God. Those were the days, man.
And that was until... Oh God! Until like Legion, and like 2016 is when I finally got a second regular monitor.
Yeah.
And dude, I just remember we would play Dungeons and Dragons, and then we'd play WoW, and we'd eat a shit ton of McDonald's chicken nuggets.
The Nugget Nights,
dude. Nugget Nights. We got to bring those back.
I don't know, man, because
Hear me out. Lads Nugget Night, except instead of 300, we get like 1,000.
1,000? Well, with 20 lads, that might just be doable too. We might just go through most of it. You know what though? I think if we do that, we're gonna have to call them ahead of time or something.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna have to be like, hey. I think we'd have to do like catering.
Yeah, we'd have to do, like the Chick-fil-A catering or something.
I think McDonald's allows you to do catering. I think it's just like you have to do it like 24 hours in advance.
Yeah.
Get a big ass like metal tray of McDonald's chicken nuggets.
Gosh, just the thought of that. I just finished eating some of those nuggets and I clocked out after 6.
You'd have to have like 100 fucking packets of barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
there's no more nuggets.
Jug.
There's no more nuggets for anyone. They're sold out of chicken nuggets for the day. They might,
depending on how much they carry.
That's only like 100 orders.
100 orders.
Pieces. It's only like 110 pieces.
They got to be able to handle that.
Yeah,
they got to be able to.
Yeah, because think about that. Like that's like 50, 20 pieces. There were some days where I would get 20 pieces. There were nights where me and you would be playing WoW, and I'd be like, "Do I go to McDonald's and get 40 chicken nuggets?
Do I go get another McRib?"
And our friends would be like, "No, Joey, don't do that." And you'd be like, "Yes,
go do it. You got it."
And the McRibs, oh my God, our McRibs, they're so iconic.
I'm counting the days for when they bring that back again. I'm gonna be back there first day.
You're the only one in the friend group who does not hate on them.
You know what? That's because everybody else in the friend group is too scared to admit the truth, which is that the McDonald's McRib is a testament to everything that the human race is about. Okay, it's the hubris of man, it's the ingenuity of man, the duality of man, all in one. All in one.
Because you eat it and you're like, it tastes so good, and then you're just like, this is absolute garbage for me.
And then it works its way through your body, and you start to feel like a brick. And then,
Especially me, because I don't ever get just one. I always get two at a time.
Yeah.
Because they always have that fucking special. It's like
2 for $5.
It's always the buy one McRib meal, get the second McRib for $1, and you're just like, I gotta do it.
You can't.
It's an extra $1, and I just want that barbecue sauce, that fucking riblet patty, the shredded onions, the pickles, that on that like little like sesame seed bun. Oh, it's so fucking good. And our friends hate it. They despise the McRib.
I don't get it either. Like, really. And some of the things they eat too, I'm like, I don't get it. So, maybe it's just, it comes down to a taste thing. Yeah, but crazy.
But the thing I think most of us can agree on is Arby's fries are S tier.
I love Arby's fries, man.
I know you do. They're fucking good.
I love their beef and cheddar too. That is like, I hadn't actually
I should be in the mood for it.
Yeah, I hadn't had much Arby's up until like, I really got into that place when I started working at the paint store. So like a couple of years back, I didn't really go before then. Yeah. And that beef and cheddar, dude, there's something about it. It's like, it's the most wet sandwich that I actually enjoy. You know what I mean? Like, they smother that thing in like liquid cheese, and it's like
liquid cheese, and then they have the Arby's sauce on it.
Yeah, it's like a very moist sandwich. I've always got like sauce all down my hand and stuff.
And I'm a demon when I go to Arby's. I put extra Arby's sauce, like 2 extra packets of Arby's sauce on that sandwich.
Oh, I do too, dude,
and it's that Arby's sauce. And here's the thing, right? I like that they give you the packets, but like switch to like the Chick-fil-A method. Give me a little tub of it,
because I did that to me one time.
Because I want to dip my fucking fries in the Arby's sauce. That's why I like going in and sitting down at Arby's, because they have the pump of Arby's sauce.
You can just get a little cup.
Yeah, and I get the drink lid. This is a trick that my mom taught me.
Yeah.
And you get the drink lid, but before you puncture a straw through it, you can still like put ketchup and shit in it.
Yeah.
So you get a lot more. Oh, I do that all the fucking time at Arby's. I'm just like, I want as much Arby's sauce as possible, even though I know it's garbage for me. There's nothing on that menu that is going to make me feel full or good.
No,
I'm going to be sick to my stomach after I'm done.
Yeah. No, my grandma did the same thing though, with specifically the drink lid actually and ketchup. But
did they ever put the pepper in the ketchup? That's what my parents always did.
Yeah, no pepper, because she knew I hated pepper. But as far as like the little cups, I know at least the last time I DoorDashed it, they did actually give you little cups of Arby's sauce. So you know what?
Maybe Arby's is evolving.
Might be turning.
Honestly, thank God, because don't get me wrong, I like the packets, but there's never enough in that packet because there's air in that packet.
Yep. There's air, and it's just straight up. It's not as much raw liquid storage as those little cups.
Containers, yeah. And I have to always ask. I'm just like, if I go through the drive-thru, I'm like, can you give me as much Arby's sauce as they will physically let you give me? It's the same thing at Taco Bell when I get like fire or when I get mild sauce.
Yeah.
I'm just like, as much as they will let you put in the bag.
I'll hold on to spares. Yeah, really.
Oh, I did that last time at Taco Bell. They gave us probably like 60 or 70 packets. They like handfuls.
Yeah.
Our bag was like 6 items, and then all mild sauce. The bag was so fucking heavy.
I love workers like that.
I'm like, dude, why is this bag so heavy? I open it up, I can't even see the food. All I see is mild sauce.
So
we have a drawer upstairs that's just full of sauce now.
Chick-fil-A was so bad with that for me that we had a dedicated drawer in our fridge for a while of just Chick-fil-A, like the normal Chick-fil-A sauce and their ranch sauce packets, because I just had so many.
Go to the you can go to Walmart and buy that shit now.
Yeah, you can go buy those. Like, I burnt myself out of Chick-fil-A sauce doing that, because I discovered you could buy those bottles, and then I would come home and I wouldn't eat all day, and then I would make a big bag of like French fries out of my air fryer, and then a bunch of nuggets, and then I just big saucer like Chick-fil-A sauce, and I'd just go to town. And that was really nice, right up until it wasn't.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, no, and I get that. It's just, I did that with that, and then now apparently they have a bottled, it's not licensed, it's like the GV brand. Apparently they have cane sauce.
Really?
And I'm like, I've got to go try that, because here's the thing. If I can get, because there's already a brand of chicken tenders at Walmart and at Sam's Club that apparently taste just like Cane's tenders.
Okay.
If I can have Cane's tenders in the air fryer with Cane's sauce, and I don't have to go to Cane's,
that's the method. Yeah.
It's Jover.
Yeah.
It's fucking Jover.
Yeah.
I'll never go back to Cane's, except for the toast. That toast is unmatched.
Yeah.
You got to get a butter on both sides is what I've been taught is the new hack.
Yeah.
For,
you like Cane's. Tell them butter on both sides?
Butter on both sides. They butter both sides. And, dude, I think Z is the one that told me that.
Yeah.
And my life has changed.
Really?
I can't get Cane's the same way anymore.
That much better, huh?
Because you know how that butter on one side is so good?
Yeah.
Imagine that on both sides.
True.
Double the butter. Obviously, like, you know, your cholesterol levels are going to be fucking jacked after that. You're going to need to fucking be on like a cardio watch list.
Yeah.
You're going to eat like 4 pieces of that, and then you're going to need to go get like an EKG.
Dude, yeah, those pieces of toast are definitely, they're loaded up with that butter. So I'm sure that's not.
Have you ever had the sandwich
favors.
at Cane's?
No. Is it good?
So it's just like a big giant bun with 3 chicken tenders, like 2 pieces of lettuce, and then cane sauce.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I'm not going to lie to you. I like that.
Yeah,
it was good. It was good. If I'm like not super hungry, I'll get that.
Yeah,
because it feels like just a solid amount of food, and they don't get big tenders. Like they put like smaller, medium-sized tenders on there, so it fits on the bun. Yeah, and I'm like, this is good, and it's the right amount of cane sauce. I always get a side of cane sauce for my fries though. Yeah, and then I'll always order an extra piece of toast because if I go to Cane's and I don't get toast. Like, this is all I'm saying, right, is Cane's, change your sandwich to instead of being the weird bun that's on nothing else on your menu.
The Texas toast?
Just have it be the toast. That's it. It should just be 3 tenders, cane sauce, lettuce, 2 pieces of toast.
That's a good idea. Holy cow.
I'm going to have to go to Cane's later and get that.
I would eat that.
I'm going to my parents later this afternoon, and I know that they're going to want to get lunch or dinner. I might be able to convince them to get Cane's. And that might be the move right there, is just to get a box combo.
Build it yourself and demo it. Come back with some results and stuff.
I won't have lettuce, though, but I'll demo it with just I can put fries on it.
You can get the coleslaw.
You're going to make me throw up, dude. I fucking hate coleslaw. Little known fact, coleslaw is on my number one thing of I will never get that at any fast food restaurant.
Really?
Dude, I'll go to KFC if they, like, I'll ask for, like, I'll be like, hey, can I get like so-and-so instead of coleslaw, like mac and cheese or something? Yeah. If they put coleslaw in my bag, it goes straight into the trash can. Same thing at Cane's. Cane's, like I'll get home and I'll be like, when I lived with my parents, it was different because my uncle loved the coleslaw. And so I just give it to him if they fucked up. Yeah. But I always do no slaw, extra toast, and an extra side of cane sauce because I dip my toast in the cane sauce. And, you know, and it's just, if they fucked it up and they give me coleslaw, I'm just like, you can have it. If I eat that, it'll ruin the rest of the food. Oh, yeah. It's just, I don't like coleslaw. And I've tried different coleslaws to be like, oh, maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't like the creamy coleslaw. Like there's like vinegar-based coleslaw. No, it's just like 99% of coleslaw I've had. It's just not my thing. I will say like a fish taco that has coleslaw on it, that's okay. Okay. Because it's like mixed with something. And so I'm like, I like that. Like the high school, this is going to be like hot take opinion. They used to do like the fish tacos at high school, which was just the really shitty like
a
tortilla.
Fish stick and a tortilla.
Yeah. And I would do that with the coleslaw. That was good.
That was good? Okay.
That was good. Granted, it was the same way the snack wrap at McDonald's was, though. It was a bunch of shitty ingredients that just somehow tasted good. Like a McDonald's snack wrap was a shitty tortilla, a shitty chicken tender, shitty cheese, shitty lettuce, shitty ranch. None of those things at McDonald's by themselves are good. Like McDonald's ranch, I think, is vile. But that on that snack wrap, that's my all-time favorite McDonald's item, and they discontinued it like 5 years ago.
You know, I never had one. I feel bad that I missed out now.
I went on a road trip right before COVID. This was literally the week before the shutdown. I went to Texas for a week, and we're coming back, and we're driving through Oklahoma, and we're getting McDonald's because we're hungry, and we're just like, we need to get something because it's going to be another like 6.5 hours before we're home. Yeah. So we stop at McDonald's and I go to order, and this is like one of the first ones that has like the kiosk where you can just tap, and they had the fucking snack wrap. I ordered 6 of them. I ordered 6. I had not seen one in like a year, and I was like 6. That was all I had. I had that and a fry, and we were driving back, and like every like 30 minutes, I'm like, snack wrap, snack wrap.
Jeez, that is a love not to be understated.
No, I think that is on a different level. Apparently, they're bringing them back. They're bringing them back this year, but they're going to be different. And I'm like, no, You don't,
keep it the same.
You don't gotta change it. Don't fix what's not broken. It wasn't broken. You guys discontinued it because you guys got rid of chicken tenders. That's your fault. Don't punish me, the consumer, for that. I will single-handedly keep that menu item in stock.
Yeah, you proved it. Yeah, give me 6.
I love them. They're good, and they were like low calorie. They were like a healthier. It's McDonald's, so nothing's healthy. Healthier alternative to getting something else at McDonald's. And you could get it with grilled chicken if you wanted, and if you didn't want the chicken tender. But like, why the fuck are you gonna do that? If you're at McDonald's, you're getting fried shit.
Yeah,
That's
what you're there for. That's literally what you're there for, is the fryer grease.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you go to Chipotle or something, nerd. Like,
Dude,
nobody.
Oh, I love Chipotle. Don't get me started with Chipotle. I like how this went from a Wowcast to.
We're just talking about
to fast
food now.
food.
Welcome to the Big Back Podcast episode.
Dude, it's so funny. I got Chipotle this week, and they fucking loaded that bitch up.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I know.
It's because of that trend online, man.
Yeah, where people were recording them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been to this Chipotle. I've been going to this Chipotle for like 4 years. This is like my regular Chipotle. I used to go like once a week. Haven't been in a while. It's been like a month and a half since I've been to Chipotle. And I was like, I'm going to get Chipotle. And I roll up. I had a free double meat on my app. And so I roll up and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get a salad with a tortilla on the side, no rice, or I got brown rice, no beans, fajitas, chicken, and carnitas. I was going to do chicken and steak, but they had like 4 pieces of steak in the bin. And I was like,
forget that. Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm just going to do carnitas because I like the carnitas. I had double meat. Before they had even gone to the salsa side, my bowl was over the brown, like was outside the bowl.
Oh,
By the time they had the salsa and everything, like because I get everything but the hot sauce because I just don't like the flavor of it.
Yeah.
Everything's in there. They had to press the lid down so that they could close it. I was like, oh my God. I ate the whole thing.
I feel so bad for workers like that, man. Just because, like, specifically with that, like, phenomenon of people filming them and everything, they're getting punished. And, that one you've been going to was never egregious beforehand either, but now they're, like, under pressure.
Oh, no, their portion sizes were fucking garbage.
Oh, were they?
Shows
how much I went.
It was so 50-50. Some days I'd go and it'd be fine. Other days I'd go and it'd be a lot. It was never consistent. And I was a service manager at Chipotle at one point. And so I know it's 4 ounces of everything. Yeah. That's the standard. And now they're just going to be like, oh, you can give a little bit more, which means the managers are going to get in trouble because it's going to affect the bottom line. And so
their margins,
people are going to get in trouble for this. But Chipotle, realistically, with how expensive it is now, they should have been upping the portion sizes anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was, hey, we can charge more, keep the same portion size, and we'll make more money. I get that, whatever. But, like...
You got caught now.
As a consumer, like... If you raise your prices, I'm expecting, hopefully, the food to either increase in quality or to increase in quantity. Instead of just giving me the same thing for a lot more. Because Chipotle got a lot more expensive. It was not like a difference in like 5 years ago, Chipotle was still like you could get like a $10 bowl.
Yeah.
That is not a thing. Like a base bowl now is like $14.
Yeah.
So, but here and there, I think we're going to take a small break so that I can... Yeah, we're going to take a small break, reset the camera.
Alrighty.
And then we'll be right back.
Cool.
All right.
And
we're back. And, honestly, we got a little off track. This week's was a little themed podcast for video watchers. You can see there's some World of Warcraft banner going on. Yeah. I'm in NFL gear because it's NFL kickoff today. First Sunday of the NFL season. Let's fucking go. Sports ball. Go sports team. But the real thing is we get to do raids this week.
We do.
We get to do the first raid, and the second raid is now in the adventure guide.
Is it already? I didn't look, actually.
Kaz
Algar
is going to be the second raid.
Wait, Kaz Algar's the zone. Are you sure those aren't world bosses?
It might be, but it shows in the raid page.
Oh, it's like a separate thing too. Yeah. Okay.
Because it has what is it? Nibar Palace.
Nibar Palace
is one. Then right next to it now has Kaz Algar. So.
Alrighty then, I'm looking forward to some of that action for sure.
So I think it's a placeholder. I don't know if that's going to be the actual name.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that's the zone that it'll be in, which will be fun. I'm excited to get into raid content because that's my favorite part of WoW. I love doing raids.
Yeah.
Especially if you are not doing them in Raid Finder. Like I like being able to just do the entire raid in one sitting. I like how long it takes. I like how engaged you have to be. Like I know some people are like, oh my God, doing the whole raid, it takes like 2 hours. It's like, that's what's fun.
Oh no, 2 hours.
The only reason I didn't enjoy, because I know I bitched to you about doing Siege of Orgrimmar on Miss Classic or Miss Remix.
Miss Remix, that was certainly a time in WoW history for
That's
sure.
so much fun. I hope they revisit that concept.
It really
especially
was.
as an end of expansion event, because it lets people level up really quickly, get to max level, so that as soon as the expansion comes out, you are good to go.
Yeah.
But it also gives you a couple days of the pre-patch. You only got like, I think, a week of pre-patch. Or not even. You got like 2 days of pre-patch because of the stupid early access bullshit.
I did have an idea for a twist to those events, though, that I think would make it a little bit better for people like me. So Miss Remix came. I already had 12 max level characters. I now have 22 of them after Miss Remix. This is going to be tough to manage. All right, that's a lot of leveling I've got to do if I want to keep them all up.
Yeah.
I think that what they should do, if they do more remix events in the future, you should have an option to essentially, instead of making a new character,
Just take your existing
you do
character.
like a Paragon kind of thing, like they do with Diablo. You Paragon your character, they get reset down to that level, whatever level they want to start. Yeah, they reset it down to 10, and then you level up again on that same one.
Yeah, because you could level. We were leveling characters in like 4 hours.
Oh yeah, dude. It was by the end of that event, we were doing it was like 3-4 hour level times if
I
you
was
were
so happy
really
to remove
pushing
those add-ons though.
Yeah.
I was so happy to remove those fucking shit.
That thread thing for the mailboxes, that thread add-on never worked for me the whole event.
Really?
I was clicking threads the whole event.
That's crazy. So, that's wild. The only ones it was supposed to manage into your mailbox was the threads of experience. That was it.
What do you mean? So like the one that I was using, it had at least on the page, it looked like I was supposed to be able to click a button and it would pull everything but the threads of experience out. And it never worked like that for me. It never did anything like that.
You had to... So the add-on I had, you had to manual click every thread except the thread of experience, or you could leave them all. So it's just... The first couple I did, I would leave everything, and then in my mailbox, when I'd open my mailbox, it would put everything into my inventory or into my bag except for the threads of experience.
Okay.
So it would... So you could run the raids or the dungeons and pull everything but the threads, or you could not pull anything. Yeah. And everything just goes to your mailbox at the end of the dungeon or raid. And then you'd go to your mailbox, click on it, you'd get all the buffs.
Just pull it all out, yeah.
With the exception of the experience.
Okay, so I was just using it wrong the whole time. Yeah. Sweet.
So, but it wasn't really that important because by the time I got like past my second character that I did on Remix, I was just clicking them manually anyway because I wanted the buffs as we were going. Yeah. Especially like I needed those. Especially like the critical strike and stuff like that on some of them.
Yeah, you need those stats, especially because like your gear just isn't updating as fast as everything else.
No,
how
because
quick you level and
because you're outpacing. You're doing content quicker than the game anticipates you to do it. And I think I'm gonna be honest. I think Blizzard will probably rebalance the way Remix works if we get another one.
No, I loved being a solo like complete shithouse death knight. Dude. That just like I don't need a healer, I don't need a tank. I am the group, you know.
Well, you sound like every tank in retail right now. It's so annoying. I hate it. I did a heroic dungeon last night.
They're doing crazy polls this expansion, dude.
It's disgusting. So our tank pulled an entire room in City of
Threads, yeah.
Of Threads. Yeah. Pulled the entire like first room. Got one of our DPSs killed, and then immediately as soon as they died, initiated a vote kick for him. You want to know the worst part?
Did it pass?
Yes.
Let's go. Base tank man. That is the WoW we need. WoW is so back.
Instantly kicked this man.
Let's go. That's amazing. Yeah, I've had some nutty tanks. And that's actually a really good thing for us to talk about right now is because this expansion has been... Even from day one, people have been doing this too. This isn't even like everybody's level 80 and they're stomping already.
No, I was doing normal dungeons. These are like 73.
These are level 70 tanks. Just first dungeon they're queuing. They pull everything. It's nuts. And it seems to work. I haven't had too many group wipes above all of this or with all of this.
Once I got into heroics, I haven't. When I was running normals, it was a lot more common.
I think that's because your healers are more variable there.
Yeah. Well, because you'd have everyone would be like 76 to 80, and your healer would be
72.
Well, and even then, the healing scales a lot better. Once they pass 74, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Being a healer between 74 and 80 sucks. Once you get to 80, you're fine because you're going to get some of those items. You're going to gear up and be viable. Yeah, healers just fucking sucked like mid-expansion.
Good to know. Yeah, so, I've got quite a few healers I'll have to level. So.
I saw a couple people. Oh, dude, Jake says he's hating leveling his healer.
Really?
He says it's been miserable. So I don't think he said 80 yet on it. He said he's probably going to switch to his hunter.
Well, you know what?
He's excited for that
one. At least in that case, maybe he's just not as good of a priest as I am. I've been playing priest for decades, all right, Jake? Look, I mean, maybe you're just not doing it right. I don't know.
Have you ever heard the story of Jake and Chris with WoW, what their parents would do?
No, what would they do?
They would have them, when they would die, when his parents would die in WoW, they would have Chris and Jake go back to their corpse. So they'd go from the graveyard
they'd have them walk them back. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds like the shit my dad did to me when we would play together still. Yeah, that's the same kind of thing. Yeah, I remember too. Yeah, he would have, if he got bored of we'd be mid-dungeon, he'd be healing. He'd be like, hey, do you want to finish this? I'd be like, all right, I guess I'm finishing this run now. Dad got bored. The 10-year-old's playing now.
Dad got bored of playing Ice Crown Citadel. You go, kid. Go get my Invincible.
Yeah, literally. So that was, that's a ubiquitous WoW parent thing at least.
I guess. That's so crazy. I did not have that experience because my parents never got into WoW.
Not big WoW gamers.
No, mine was Call of Duty. Me and my uncle played Call of Duty together where he would play and he would die and he'd hand me the controller and he'd be like, all right, next live's on you. When you die, you give it back.
See, that'd be a fun one, too.
We'd bounce it back and forth every time you die. And he would teach me, things like, because I would try and walk around ADS the whole time. And he's like, no. Start shooting when you see someone and then ADS. Go up, get a couple shots off and then pull up. And I'm like, oh, that's smart. And that's still how I play now for the most part.
The method.
And then he taught me how to camp. It was World at War. There was this little building that had the tiniest little stairwell up. And we would place bouncing Bettys at each level of the stairs. So we'd place one at the very bottom, one at the little landing up.
I played World of War. I know about people like you.
And what I would do is I would sit. There was a little a little dresser you could crouch on.
Yeah.
And I would stand at the top of the stairs waiting. They'd blow up the first bouncing Betty, and a lot of times they would die to the second one. Then they'd come back pissed off because they know someone's up there, and I'd kill them.
From the dresser.
Dresser. And then after that, I would move to a different corner.
Do you know how many times I died to people like you? Do you know how vividly I'm able to picture that exact spot on that map you're talking about?
It's the map with the tanks.
It's the map with the tanks. It's like a British village that's mid-siege. And it's just in one of those random little small houses. You run up. It's like an L staircase. And how dare you, man?
My uncle taught me that spot. My aunt and uncle would play Black Ops 2 together. It would be me, them, and then Keith. I don't know if you remember Keith from way back in the day. I do remember
Keith, yeah.
We would all be playing. Me and him would be playing in the basement TV. My aunt and my uncle would be playing split screen in their bedroom.
Yeah.
We'd be playing on standoff, and they would camp. My uncle would camp upstairs. My aunt would camp in the corner at the bottom, and they would just watch both entrances. And as people would run in, they just lay them out. And my aunt would get so angry at my uncle because my uncle would see shit on YouTube of sniping. And he'd be like, I want to snipe. No. And so he'd unequip, a shotgun and his LMG, and he'd go to a sniper.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't pay attention to the door. My aunt would get killed. And she'd fucking hit him with the controller.
A whole family of campers. My Lord. That's
I don't
awesome.
camp anymore. Okay. When I was younger,
you've grown. Yeah.
When I was younger, it was just about getting to max prestige, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Anything that'll get me there, right? But back to World of Warcraft, dungeons have been terrible. Yeah. I've only done a couple. I'm actually going to do 3 more today because I need 3 more to have done the heroics on every dungeon.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm going to do that today to get that achievement. Well, that achievement I don't think is out. I didn't see a completion achievement for running them all in heroic.
They might be doing that for the Mythic one instead.
God, I do not want to run all of these on Mythic. If I have to run
Mythic
0.
If
I have to run the Rookery on Mythic,
Come on, the Rookery's not even the worst one. You know what I don't like is my least favorite dungeon right now is the Dark Flame Cleft.
I can agree with you on that.
That one,
one's
like
not fun.
really, and it's not that it's super bad per se, but that light and darkness mechanic, especially with the last boss, is so annoying. And even on with how ridiculous it is, even on just heroic, I cannot imagine.
There's not an achievement for
trying
running
to
down heroic.
pug and corral. Really?
I don't think so. I think there's only because some of them don't have heroic achievements.
Oh, then yeah, maybe they need to add those in. But like, just imagining trying to run that on Mythic and like trying to corral a pug group to do that.
Well, that was the other thing I was thinking about is because they don't typically add more dungeons, do they? It's just raids. At this point?
They
okay,
do.
so are they gonna? So maybe they're waiting to add the completion achievement until all of the dungeons for the expansion are out. Because I know Dragonflight did. Because I have that achievement for all of the Dragonflight dungeons.
Yeah, because they added Dawn of the Infinite in Dragonflight.
That's right.
Yeah, that wasn't
and that's
released.
A two-part. That was a two-part one. Yeah.
That's a two-wing dungeon. And that one actually, I'm looking forward to when we can start farming that because of that. That rains that drops there.
Yep.
It's the first time they've. Oh, excuse me. This is the first time they've done something where like it's not one mount. You like roll on all these super rare mounts, and that's intoxicating to me to say the least. Like, dude, they got Rivendare's Death Charger in that pool.
Because you're a big
like,
mount guy. You love the collecting. I've for mounts, I've started to get the itch.
Yeah.
It's becoming a thing where like I'll look through the treasure and what's on the map, and I'm like, ooh, mount. I'm gonna do that first.
Yep.
I don't do the toys as often, and the pets.
Toys you should do when you can too. I like to do toys when I can. I think I got like.
I've just been trying to clear them on my map, just so that my map will be clear at one point.
Yeah.
But then the other thing with it is like toys. It goes for me. It goes transmog items, mounts, toys, pets.
Okay.
Pets are on the bottom of my list because I've just never gotten into the pets mechanic.
Yeah, pets are lower priority for me too. I'll
you were doing
them.
the big achievement for pets, weren't you?
I stopped. For now, at least. I know I've got to wait for the snowy owl still. I got to wait for winter to come. So probably I think the first day it starts spawning is December 20th or something like that, and then it'll go until like March 20th.
Gotcha.
And so I've got to get I like physically can't finish the achievement until then, but then there's other pets that like there's a baby ape in Stranglethorn that only spawns when one specific island is in a rainstorm, and that island has a separate weather timer and loop than the rest of the zone. So if it's raining in Stranglethorn, it's not necessarily raining on the island.
Oh, that sounds so annoying.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to trying to get that one.
No.
But yeah.
I'm sure there's an add-on to track that, though.
Yeah, I was doing that mainly because I was running out of stuff to do. In Dragonflight, yeah. I mean, I didn't really care about trying to get to a Mirdrasil, although seeing some of the sets that people run around with, I mean, I think that will be one I farm down the line. But
that's the other thing is there's certain content like that I'm just like, oh, I would like to get that, but I don't want to run this with people. Yeah. A lot of the I wanted to get, oh God, what is it? The one of the items that drops in one of the Shadowlands raids, the sword that I was telling you about, the Colding. Oh my God, what the hell is it called?
Oh,
it's a sword. It's just a transmog item. Like I just want the sword because of the transmog, because it's the sword from South Park. It's the same model as the Sword of 1,000 Truths.
Oh, okay.
And it's the same item. It's a different color. It's red instead of blue because the item that was blue they've removed from. You can't obtain it anymore.
Oh, okay.
So it's like the Hungarian one or something. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I'd have to look up the item.
I can't think of it right now, but
I hate running that fucking raid because it's still not soloable content, so you have to queue with people to do it. And there are mechanics in that raid that are kind of hard. And it's like this raid has been out for 4 years. And even then, like every time we run it, there's always somebody who types the mechanic out and goes, hey, this is the mechanic. Don't.
And then you still wipe. Yeah.
And we wipe every time. I have not run that raid once, and we have not wiped. And it pisses me off because that wipe, because it's not like you wipe. It's you wipe besides everyone, like 4 people will still be alive. And instead of, just jumping off the edge to reset, like a respectful WoW player.
No, they'll try to finish.
They'll try to finish it, and they spend like a half hour doing that, and then they reset because they die, and it's just like, dude, come on,
stop wasting the time.
We had one person on, I think it was Amdrasil in Dragonflight. 19 of us wiped. Right, so or it's 25, so 24 people wiped.
Oh, so it was like just one person
we had
left.
a tank left.
Okay.
And he had a bunch of healing items. Like, he had a bunch of pots on him.
Mm-hmm.
This man wasted 45 minutes of our time. He was doing, like, no DPS. The health bar was barely going down.
Yeah.
He got maybe a quarter of the boss's health. This is the last boss.
Yeah.
The last boss. Got like a quarter of its health before he died. Before he finally he did not die.
He just gave up.
He just jumped so that everyone would respawn. He was pissed at us. And we're just like, dude, you should have just jumped. Yeah. That's the thing. If you jump, then all of us respawn. Then we can all make the second attempt. This was my first run doing that raid. And that last boss it's not hard, but
it ain't easy either.
No. Some of those bosses in the Dragonflight, like what raid was it? Had the on the giant gold platform where you're bouncing back and forth between the platforms. I don't think that was Amdrasil. I think that was a different raid, and it's the last tier of that raid.
Gosh, yeah, I hardly even ran them.
They were fun.
I did not play a ton for Dragonflight.
No, because we kind of got back in at the same time. Mm-hmm. Get back into WoW.
Yeah, Emerald Dream was already out and all that.
Yeah.
So
because I got back in and I was like, because Jake mentioned it in the Ozarks, and I was like, oh, WoW does sound fun. And so I came home one day and I was like, I'm gonna install WoW. Middle of June, I installed WoW and paid for my sub, and I already owned Dragonflight because I bought it when it came out. And I was like, okay, what am I gonna play? And Miss Remix was out, and I was like, oh, I'll play that, I guess. I played that for a little bit, and then I leveled my main up to 70. Mm-hmm. And then I started doing dungeons and raids. I was like, oh, this is fun. And then you were in Discord one day, and you're like, you're playing WoW? I was like, yeah. And that was
and then you explained what the remix event was. I was like, oh, no, I got to hop on. And then it was done.
Yeah.
And then I spent the next month leveling up 10 characters. Yeah.
Did you get close to 100%ing the event?
I did 100% the event.
You're a fucking madman.
I did 100% the event. And in fact, on top of that, I maxed almost every Mists of Pandaria reputation during that event. I got exalted with Claxy.
Hey, but you know those are account-wide now.
No, so they're not.
Oh.
The reputation progress that you get, like on every character, if I open it up, I'm not exalted with Claxy on every character.
I thought the rep was supposed to be was supposed to be account-wide now.
I think that going forward it will be, because my renown progress for War Within is account-wide. Right?
But your rep for legacy content's
all
not?
My legacy reps are not. Yeah.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Yeah, and it was stupid because I was looking forward to getting the achievement for an ass ton of exalted reputations all on one character. Mm-hmm. But so I maxed out. I got pretty much every rep mount there except for the Shadowpan Tigers, and those ones I'll get pretty soon. So
yeah, because you can go back and still get those.
But yeah,
it's not like content. It's not like you got all of the event because there was event exclusive content.
Yeah. So there was like each of those zone achievements. The Shaw Corruption Enchantment Illusion I think is one of my favorite rewards now. Actually, looking back, I wasn't super excited about it at the time and just kind of did it for completion's sake. Mm-hmm. But that thing's pretty damn sweet, actually. Being able to make anything look Shaw touched, and then obviously that golden Emperor's Astral Serpent is pretty cool too. I love the Astral Serpent. I have that one, and that is like one of my favorite mounts. Even though I'm not rocking it right now, because right now I have the one from the pre-order, but then you customize it and it looks so fucking cool. It does, yeah. I love the fact that is customizable the same way that the Dragon Isle dragon mounts were. Yeah, I love that. That's a feature that they transferred over. Yeah, did you see the Delve mount is too? The dirigible, yeah. Yeah, as you, I think it's as you level up Bronzebeard, you can get it's through doing delves that you'll get the customization options. Okay. I haven't looked a whole lot into it just because I like the mount and I like having the mount, and I went and got the mount right away. Yeah. But I don't care to customize it really. No. It's not that cool looking. No, and the thing with it is I thought from some of the previews that they did when they were showing delves,
it looked like you were going to be able to use that mount in the delves. And I was excited about that because I was like, okay, cool, because these are a lot of in-ground places.
You spend a lot of time running around in those.
Yeah, and I was like, that'll be really fun to have your mount, a ground mount in them.
Yeah.
And no, you can't. And so I'm just like, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
But I have it. I want the mole. I want to have that.
We'll get a group together for that mole, I promise, because I want it to.
Because I want to just, be able to walk around with that because that's going to be flashy.
Yeah.
And then I have the one that you get for doing Pathfinder. Mm-hmm. And I have another one. There's another rare one that I have already.
So there's...
But there's some really cool mounts in this expansion that I really am.
There's a few that I've been I've been slobbering over. So there's the Alunira mount in Isle of Dorn, and that one is I think you can see the model for it by the Flight Masters. It's like that. It's like a pale white kind of griffin thing, but it has white energy tendrils coming off of it basically. And that one, you need to loot 10 crackling shards that are like a 0.3% drop from any mob in Isle of Dorn. There's not anything to farm. You need to get 10 of those, knock her out of the sky, kind of like with Sundancer in Shadowlands. I did that one recently. And knock her out of the sky, you get a guaranteed drop if you're the one that knocked her out, or else it's just like a 20% drop or something like that. And then there is, I think it's Belidar's Spawn, it's called, and it is a Void Walker mount, dude. Like, it's straight up like a Void Elemental.
Oh.
Yeah, and so that one spawns in Hallowfall. The crystal, like that orange, big orange crystal, it'll turn purple every once in a while. And when it turns purple, that mob is going to spawn randomly somewhere in the zone, and you have to go kill it. It spawns once every time it turns. You have to go kill it, and then you get the mount.
Oh,
yeah,
that's very cool. And that's very interesting. Because I knew about the mechanic. I knew about that mount. I knew there was a mount. I didn't know that it was a Void Walker.
Yeah, it's a Void Walker, and it looks super, super cool.
Because it happens I think every half. No, it's every hour and a half. I think is when the crystal turns purple.
Yeah, so
and then that's also when the keyflame events start.
Yep.
When you can start going and lighting. You can light the keyflames at any time, but if you light the keyflames when the crystal is purple, that's when you get the world quests in those areas. Yeah. And those world quests are they're a little repetitive once you've done all of them.
They're pretty easy though.
They're pretty easy, but then also there's a variety because there's the 3 or 4 major keystones, and each of them have a different event for that little part of the little village that you're in.
Yeah. So there's like the 4 lesser ones you have to light, and then you can there's a few and then you can get those bonus objectives as well if you light the bigger ones.
Yep. Yeah. And that's what everyone does. Everyone comes together, lights the big ones, does the objective together, and then because it also spawns a world. It's not a world boss, but they might be. Are they world bosses?
They're like rares.
They're the elite boss.
They're like elite rares. Yeah, they're like 17 million health.
World bosses don't spawn until Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's when the world bosses enter the War Within.
Yep.
Same thing when we get to do tier 4 and up delves, which will be really fun. Those are going to be a pain in the ass. But obviously, I found that really nice skip.
Yeah, you found that skip. And, we did get our Seeker of Loot title already.
I'm so happy we did that already.
I'm happy we did that too. Yeah.
It took us like 4 hours.
Yeah, I look at that every day that I log in now, and I'm like, dude,
that's the title I'm rocking.
That would suck to go back and get. Yeah.
That's the title I'm rocking right now. We did all of those on tier 3?
All those on. Well, I think the last couple we did tier 1 because
we'd already done
the
them.
solo ones. We did tier 1 together, and then the bountiful ones we did on 3.
Yeah, because you had keys.
I've got 4 more keys.
I have 4 more right now. Yeah, I've been grinding the coffer keys.
Hell yeah.
Because I want to be able to. I like going and doing them. I had 5, but I did 1 today.
Oh, word.
Last night, because that one that we found the skip on in Hallowfall, that one was the Bountiful Delve yesterday, and so I went and did that, and it was the right story, so I just did the skip.
Nice.
I did the skip at tier 3, and
good stuff.
Granted, now I've outpaced the item level for doing that. So doing delves, bountiful delves,
there's no point.
There's no point in doing them at tier 3. Realistically, we should wait and then do them at tier 6.
That's why I'm hanging on to my keys. And
I'm just gonna hold on to my keys until we are item level enough to do like tier 11s.
Yeah.
And then at tier 11s, I'm going to do the
only reason
stuff.
to use keys right now that I see is to just like squeeze the Valor stones out of them, basically.
Yeah, but even then, if you can just, especially if that one that's up that we found the skip on, if you just run that back to back to back, because it takes like 5 minutes at tier 1.
Oh, yeah.
That's like 20 Valor stones a run.
Yeah.
And you get Valor stones for killing mobs.
Oh, true.
So, and you have to kill mobs for that one anyway, because that's part of the
at least get to where
objective.
You need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to kill like 70% of all bosses in the area, but you get to skip that whole like corner. So you skip like I think I counted, because I did a run where I just counted everything. I think you skip like 40 or 50 enemies. So it's not a huge time save, but
it's something.
Obviously, if you're playing like an arcane mage, you can just go through regardless. Well, I guess you didn't. You died a couple times while I was in the boss room.
Hey, I wasn't as geared up then.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I've got my 580 mage now. I'm a terror.
I'm at 574 right now on my warrior.
There you go.
So, and I'm just grinding Valor Stone so I can upgrade everything.
That's pretty much all that it is at this point. Yeah, I ran so many heroics last week just trying to like, because you get like 30 a run.
Yeah, and you get the chance at the item drop at the end, which I did yesterday. I ran my heroic last night, and they offered me my neck piece that I needed.
Oh.
They offered me, well, I didn't need it, but it was a good neck piece for me.
Yeah.
And they were just like, do you want this neck piece? And they opened the trade window, and they accepted right away. And so I accepted and then left the instance. I was like, do not ask me for anything. I'm leaving. I don't have anything in my bag. Because I've been clearing my bag and selling all of my shit as I go. Because none of these items are really going to be necessary for my ults. Yeah. Just the way it is, the type of armor I need for my warrior is a lot different than the type of armor I need for my mage. A lot of the stuff I have is just kind of worthless. And the stuff that I did need for my mage, I already put in my Warbound bank.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing too, is like pretty much any BOE I get at max level, it's going to be just going in the Warband bank.
I'm actually about to go clear my Warband bank because there's a lot of Dragonflight shit in there that I just have in there. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't.
I just bought another tab instead of clearing mine out. I just bought another tab.
I'm just going to clear it because there's no point to having some of those items. Like, I guess if I wanted to level like a 1 to 7 or 1 to 80, it would help because as you get there, I can give them like further progression items. Yeah. Like when they hit like 60, I can give them stuff that is level 70, but there's no point to doing that, honestly. Because, honestly, I'm just going to do dungeons and just go through real quick. It's not super hard.
It's really not,
But it's The expansion is good, though. I enjoy it a lot. I can't wait to run the first raid. So excited for that. Yeah. The dungeons, I'm going to finish that achievement or the progress for that achievement today. And then it's after that, honestly, my end game plan is just going to be doing the holiday events.
There you go. I can get your holiday achievement finally.
I want to get that achievement. The worst thing about that is I'm closer to that in Classic than I am to that in Retail. Oh. Because Wrath Classic came out and I started doing that and I did it for like 6 months. When I got halfway done.
Yeah. You know what? You reminded me. I still need to do Dark Moon Fair. Next time the Dark Moon Fair comes. Up right now. No, it ended yesterday.
Oh, did it really?
It ended yesterday. I know that because I got on. I was like, oh man, I know it was coming up. When's it going to start?
When I pulled it up in my adventure guide,
is it still going?
It told me to do Dark Moon Fair.
Okay, if it's still going, then I'll go do it
like there till Tuesday.
When we finish up with this. But honestly, I could have sworn I saw it ending yesterday. Either way, I think there's like 3 or 4 mounts you can get just from Dark Moon Fair.
Is there?
If you do it right.
I did Dark Moon Fair just to do I did the stuff just to do my trading post.
Oh yeah.
My trader's log.
I see.
So I didn't really go through one of the mini games. Is fun. It's stupid.
I know
the one where you shoot out a cannon.
Mm-hmm.
That one.
That one's fun.
I tried like 10 times and I could not land, and so I was like, I'm done. Fuck this shit. I'm calling it quits. I'm good. I did my trader's log. I'm done for the day.
That's enough for me.
That's enough. Dark Moon Fair. Also the other thing is I told Jake to go do Dark Moon's Fair because all you have to do is ride the carousel of the roller coaster and you get the 1 hour reputation boost and the XP boost. So if you're still leveling, that's a great thing to do. Is to go to Dark Moon Fair and get the 1 hour buff.
Yeah, very good to know.
And I think if you buy the hat, you can use the hat at any time, and that gives you, I think, a 2 hour boost. That's XP and reputation, which honestly I should go do while I'm doing my renown.
Yeah, holy cow. Yeah, it sounds like I need to go to the Dark Moon Fair.
Sounds like you do. It sounds like Dark Moon Fair and some dungeon runs.
Yeah, for real.
Because I still got to run more heroics.
Yeah, I won't lie though. So it is kind of rough, even seeing as far as we've made it just in like the last 2 weeks, seeing how much of the renown grind lays out in front of us and how much of it is going to just be dailies and weeklies.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it gives you incentives to do stuff every week. My thing is I wish they had, and maybe as time goes on they will, but I wish there was more variety in the world content still.
Yeah.
Because in 2 weeks, we have played through all of the world content besides the world bosses.
I've done every world quest.
Yep.
We've done all the weeklies.
Everything.
We've done everything. Yeah.
There is no variety in them, and that's okay. It's okay for it being so early in the expansion. But when we get like 4 months into this, when we're still waiting for the second raid to come out,
we're
waiting for new dungeons, that grind is going to get really boring, And so it's one of those things that that's why I'm finding like other things to do. Like, I'm going to go treasure hunting and get all the treasure on the map, whatever. Get all the rare items.
I'm going to go collect some mounts. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to do stuff like that to keep me busy so that grind feels less boring. Because obviously, like, I've been doing that now, because even like this week, I did all the weeklies last week.
Yeah,
we did all the dailies last week. So I've experienced all of the content Worthen already has to offer, minus the 4 raids that I still need to run heroic.
Yeah. But
I've run all of them normal. So it's just a difference in playing them in difficulty, whatever. But now I'm like, oh, I know I have to go do this world quest in this zone. There's a piece of treasure that I'm also going to do while I'm there. So it gives me this incentive to go to Hollowfall and do this random fucking shit and still do the keystone lights and stuff, because there's treasure I got to get in that area anyway. So I go and do that, and then I do the event anyway, because I'm there, I may as well do that and get some renown. But I'm not going there to do the world quests anymore. That, I think that part for us is already passed, and there are players who don't play as quickly. I think that's the problem. Is me and you we come home, we play WoW. We come home, we play WoW.
Yeah, we've kind of crushed it relative to the average player. Yeah.
As of the end of week 1, so last Monday, I had 30 hours.
30 hours.
I had 30 hours in the expansion. That's just in the expansion, because if you hit played now, it just tells you specifically the expansion playtime.
Oh, okay.
So it tells you how much it tells you how much you've played. And this, I think, has always been there, how much you've played at this level.
Yep. I know I've played over a day at max level already.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I was at Saturday of last week, so I hit 80 on Thursday night, the week of launch.
Yeah.
By Saturday, I had 17 hours at level 80. So by Monday, I was
definitely probably you were past a day or two.
Probably now I'm probably at probably closer to 48. It's terrible. It's so terrible. It's literally it's like a part-time, or it's like a full-time job. Just coming home and playing WoW.
It is, and you know what?
But it's so much
a whole
fun.
lot more fun than a full-time job, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, and it's so much fun, especially because like me and you'll sit in Discord with everyone, and we're talking and we're having fun.
Until we get moved, because we've been talking about WoW too much.
Normally we move. Normally we no we have. True. I don't think we've
usually
been
we move.
It's me or you move each other, and we do that just because they're playing like Apex or doing ranked, and it's not fair to them to interrupt the communication that they're doing in their game.
I know they don't want to hear us blabbing about that like nonstop.
No, and if me and you are running dungeons and we're trying to communicate with each other about things, we also don't want to hear about Apex.
Yeah.
And so it's a difference in what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Obviously, like today and yesterday, I've been sitting in there playing WoW and watching football.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there with Tyler talking about football, because I want to just talk about football.
That's your sports guy, yeah.
Yeah, he is my sports guy. Him and Miles are the sports guy. And Miles has to reinstall Apex, because he told them if Nebraska covered the spread on the game yesterday, that he would reinstall WoW, or not WoW, he'd reinstall Apex.
Reinstall Apex, and they did.
They did. They covered the spread. Yeah, the spread was 7.5. And they won by 18. So they killed the spread. So
he's gonna have to get
Apex
Predator with losing the bet that bad.
Yeah, honestly. Oh man. Yeah, I cannot get into Apex. It's not a game I've been able to enjoy.
I got into it when I was playing alone, and then everybody got into it by the time I was ready to quit.
I can play it in bursts. I can play it for like 3 or 4 matches. I just can't take it seriously.
Yeah. I got into it just because I like I like the cosmetics they do in that game quite a bit. I really, really do.
Shocker,
I think
the guy who likes collecting everything in WoW likes cosmetics in other games.
Look, I love the cosmetics.
No wonder why
game.
you liked the camo grind this year.
No, you know what? You want to know how bad I am with like collectibles in games? I've spent easily over $1,000 on ESO houses. ESO houses, yeah.
I did not know
even
that.
joking, yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, like collectively,
Yeah.
between like, because like you pay the sub and you get 1,500 crowns every month that your sub goes through and like different stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I have all around probably spent about $1,000 on ESO collectibles, and I don't even play that game anymore.
No, nope. I remember there was a spot where I think Eric and Sheldon were playing it a lot.
Dude, even they didn't touch it like I did. I logged 600
no,
hours in like 4 months.
Well, that was like your WoW replacement because that was when you got out of WoW.
Yeah.
And that was like
I was sick of WoW, dude. Yeah, that was like mid to late Shadowlands, and anybody that played for that period knows exactly how terrible that was.
I left. I bought I didn't buy Shadowlands.
Shadowlands looked so cool, and it had the potential to be so cool, and then it just got so fucking boring.
It looked cool, and then I was like, I waited because I needed to wait like 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And like 2 weeks in, where we're at now, the level of excitement was so different. People were done with the game at that point.
Yeah.
They were like 2 weeks in and they're like,
I was already done,
we're cooked. Like Raid 1 comes out this week, but no one's excited to run the raid and everyone was already quitting before Raid 1 even dropped. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm not even going to buy the expansion then. Because you guys had a big group. That was like the largest group for WoW we'd had in the group.
SB got all the way to max level.
Yeah, a lot of people did. Mm-hmm. But people just weren't excited because the content wasn't engaging. And I think that's kind of the problem with the first raid taking 2 weeks to drop.
Yeah.
I think maybe the first raid, or at least the first tier, like maybe the first wing of the raid, should drop
with
week 1.
Yeah.
I don't know about with the expansion. I would say at least like week 1 though. Like at the end of the first week, start a second week instead of being, because it'll be start a third week here in 2 days.
The only thing that makes me say like start of expansion is that, Molten Core launched with Classic, did it not?
It did, but also the difference with Molten Core was that it took like 3 months for anyone to clear that raid.
That's true.
Because leveling was a lot harder.
Yeah.
You hit 80. There were people who hit 80 in 4 hours of playtime.
Yeah.
That raid would have been cleared day 1 of the expansion.
Probably, yeah, I could see it. Just people going nuts with like professions and various stuff like
they would have
they
would have grinded the first 24 hours because the people who do worlds first, that's all they do is play WoW.
Yeah.
They're streamers and shit and whatever. Good for them.
Yeah.
But like the raid would have been cleared day 1 of the expansion or day 2, regardless. And granted, on Tuesday when the raid drops, it will be cleared on Tuesday.
More than likely, yeah. Or at least like a couple days after that.
I don't think we've had.
Well, then again, they're not going to do Mythic when it drops, right?
No, we have to wait like
Mythic's
another
week
like 2 weeks.
After.
Yeah.
Right,
because we get Mythic Dungeons this week, and we get the raid. We get level 4. I don't think we get 4 through 11 for delves. I think we get like 4 to 8 for delves.
Okay.
And then, and I think it's only Mythic 0 for dungeons. I don't think you can do Mythic Keystones yet. And then like in 2 weeks you get Mythic Raids and you get and then you can do like Mythic Plus and stuff like that for dungeons. And then 9 to 11 for the delves. It's a very like progressive drop of the content.
Yeah, I feel like
and I just
they haven't done things like that before, have they? Because
no,
that
I think
feels
they're doing
very, very
I think they're doing it specifically to keep player interest. Because I think they're trying to keep the same thing that happened at Shadowlands not happening where everyone just drops.
Yeah.
But granted, the content's more interesting, in my opinion, than Shadowlands. Mm-hmm. So far. I guess the first raid will tell. The first raid might be fucking dog shit. If it is, I'll cry.
See, I don't think that gating like until it comes or like gating it coming out for like X amount of time is the answer. I think it should be it's out and it just takes you that much longer to get to it. You know what I mean? That journey between needs to be longer.
Well, I've also thought about this too, is like maybe instead of having it be 10 levels in expansion, maybe it should be like 20. And it should be harder, like make the level cap, the XP cap longer so that you get kind of that like TBC and that like Wrath experience where leveling took a while.
Yeah.
Like classic leveling, don't go back to the way classic was. Vanilla leveling is horrible. but make it a little bit longer, make it a little bit more engaging. Because realistically, I did not do half the content in any of the zones. Mm-hmm. Like the Ringing Deeps, I did almost all of the content for, but that was the only zone I did. And that was just because I was trying to. And then I got bored because I wasn't leveling up fast. Because you level up really slow doing that. So I was like, no, fuck this. I'm just going to do dungeons and then hit the important parts of the campaign and do that.
You reminded me talking about leveling. It's a little off topic, but have you noticed leveling? Have you started leveling a second character?
No,
through
I'm
War
not
Within
doing that yet. No,
so
that'll probably be this week.
Every max level character you get in War Within, when you start another one and start leveling through the expansion, you get 5% per max level character, increased XP gain.
Wow.
I had 5% increased on my Paladin.
So now you'll have 10%.
And then I maxed out
one.
my Paladin, and I think I'm going to do the Demon Hunter or my Warrior next. On either one of those, I'll have 10%. And then presumably, if it keeps stacking, each character is another 5%.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah. So alts are definitely OP this expansion.
Well, they did that on purpose. Like they announced that like before it came out that they were gonna like do like a big push for alts to go.
Oh, I must. Well, yeah, I knew they were gonna do stuff for alts. I just didn't know what it was gonna look like.
Yeah,
so
they were trying to make playing on alts more viable this expansion because they wanted to make alts a more casual friendly experience.
Yeah.
Because before it hasn't been. Before you have a main and then if like a casual player has one maybe two characters. They want it to be where now you can really, if you wanted to, experience as many aspects of the game as possible with the easiest route possible to do that.
Good.
And I think that's
the kind of player I like to be. That's why I maintain each class at max level, is because I want to be able to kind of hop into whatever I need to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my Arcane Mage, and then one of my Death Knights is. I want to say my Death Knight is an Alliance character.
Yeah.
I'm going to level them up because I want to have at least one Alliance character. Not that there's a whole lot of Alliance or Horde exclusive content in this expansion, but...
There are different appearances, though.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, just for the campaigns and different stuff like that, there are different appearances per faction, so...
It's definitely something I want to do. So
I
like having at least one of each. And, I know we're big Horde group because, it's the best fucking...
It is. It's got the coolest races. It's got more players. It's got the best PvPers.
That's it. Dude, I love watching...
lore.
I don't like playing PvP, but I love watching PvP clips on TikTok.
Yeah.
Dude.
I really like watching other
Mage
people
God?
die, and then I get on and I start becoming the people that die in those clips, and I don't like that.
Dude, do you see the one I sent you, the Mage God, where it's he does the goat and he's just flying across with the flag?
Yeah. You know what I did? I was in Rookery last night, and I was like still leveling my Paladin. If you Divine Steed when you're hopping on those hippogriffs, you stay on the horse while you fly across. It was just, I think I might have nabbed a screenshot, but I might have been a second too late.
That's a little broken. I don't think that's intentional.
I don't think it's intentional, but it was very funny regardless.
That sounds funny. On that note, I think we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
We've been going. The camera's been long since dead. But I think we'll wrap it up for this week. I hope everyone enjoyed a very special World of Warcraft theme. We'll be back to normal content next week. This week was just celebrating new expansion. It doesn't happen every year.
Oh, yeah.
Every two, though.
Every other year.
Every other year we get an expansion. So I just wanted to celebrate it, and especially with Henry, because we've been playing together pretty much the entire expansion. And also, we're the two WoW guys.
Yeah.
We play the most WoW.
I was happy to be here,
I'm glad we finally got you on. We're going to have you back at some point, probably season 2. That way we can really delve into the friendship aspect of it, because we didn't do that a lot this time. This was really just a...
Yeah, we got too hung up on Chipotle portions.
On Chipotle and McRibs. Who knows? This might have to be this podcast might have to come out in wings.
Yeah, we might have to.
This might be a tiered
Part
podcast.
2 release next week. Yeah.
Actually, no, we gotta wait 2. This next one will be the Mythic Plus podcast.
Oh yeah.
If you're not level 80, you don't get to listen to the podcast. Thank you for listening, everyone. And again, we will be back next week with a normal podcast. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.